everybody? We are back. It is Taped on Lodge, favorite Raiders podcast, favorite Raiders channel, favorite Raiders everything. We are back. You guys already know what to do. Hit the subscribe button. Subscribe. Oh, that's the wrong one. Subscribe. It's like button if you like it. Hit this like button if you don't like it. Leave a comment if you like it. Leave a comment if you don't like it. Also follow us on Twitter at the Mark John NFL for me, at mholder95 for Matt, and of course pandasups.com, discount code TDL for 25% off. All right, Matt. So today we are doing Kenny Pickett and Amari Cooper. So the Raiders provided us with content. We appreciate the Raiders giving us a little content in this a small dead period before we get started, right?
Yeah, the last dead period for the next 8 months, something like that. So the last little breath we get.
Yeah, we got some college football yesterday, and some Arch. Everybody's talking about Arch Manning sucks, but I saw a film of Doug Farrar posted. I was like, man, Matt Patricia, you are an asshole. That's what I was thinking. You're a dick. Because I don't know. I mean, you can't he has some linebacker robot to a crosser. I was like, yo.
Yeah, was that Reese? Or was it Reese or Stott? I think number 8 for Ohio State. I think his last name is Reese. I can't remember his first name.
Yeah.
He had a hell of a game. He had that coffeehouse stunt for a sack. That was dirty work. They were doing some NFL level stuff. Matt Patricia, I feel like everyone's going to talk about Art. The resurgence of Matt Patricia might be the bigger storyline from that game because everyone's hated that guy for I feel like almost 10 years now, since he was the head coach of the Lions. And then all of a sudden he comes out and says, here's your number 1 pick in the draft, scoring 7 points and looking like crap because he was disguising coverages. That was a wild game plan, but helps when you have the dogs to be able to do it.
Oh my God. Yeah. It was crazy stuff. All right. So we're doing Amari Cooper and Kenny Pickett today. So before we get into that, let's talk about some of the Raiders moves. I remember from our instant reaction to the 53 initial, right? People were wanting to get rid of Thayer Munford Jr. They got their wish, but it just wasn't the best replacement. And that's what we were saying on the show. For a swing tackle, he's not bad, right? But it's now you got Stone Forsythe, who, if you remember, who's Max Crosby used to destroy for fun. Every time they put the Chargers, so
no, he wasn't on the Chargers. He was on the Seahawks.
He was never on the Chargers. I thought
no, you're thinking of
Storm Norton.
Yeah, Storm Norton, Ray Pipkins. Yeah. No, Stone Forsythe. Basically, I'm gonna break my hand, pat myself on the back here a little bit. Basically, what it came down to is kind of what I was saying. I knew they didn't like what they saw from Thayer Munford in the preseason, and I'm guessing that wasn't much different in practice. Because if you remember, we heard for a hot second at the end of minicamp, we're like, oh yeah, Thayer Munford's competing for the right guard competition or whatever. He's competing for one of the starting guard spots, and then we never heard about it again. That's a pretty good sign that it wasn't going well. Yeah. And then he came out and played the way he did in the preseason. It just boiled down to they didn't want to throw Charles Grant into the swing tackle role and make him play before he's ready because he's young. And their other option was Dalton Wagner, who was pretty bad in pass pro, a good run blocker, but bad in pass pro, and also has no regular season experience. So they kept Thayer Munford. And then when Pete Carroll saw a guy that he has familiarity with on the waiver wire, it was just made too much sense for him to be able to do that. That being said, Stone Forsythe has been pretty bad since he's been in the league, for the most part. If we're being real, it was just a matter of neither guy's really a good option, but one guy has a relationship with the head coach and the other one doesn't. And what it boiled down to. That's why I tweeted out there and it got lost in translation. Makes sense. And people wanted to jump down my throat about that. I'm like, no, what makes sense is that he has a relationship with the head coach and their other option wasn't great or wasn't looking good either. So just kind of Pete going back to what he knows, which we've seen that a few times with especially these late trot roster moves, bringing in guys like Jamal Adams, who's playing well, and then obviously swapping Thayer Munford for Stone Forsythe, two guys who we hope never have to see the field.
Yeah, because I'm looking at Stone Forsythe's stats right now, man. He gave up 12 pressures against Detroit, 12, and then 10 against San Francisco.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, look at his preseason grades. They're decent this past year. He's been a good preseason player.
I mean, he was a good run blocker in 2023, I guess. I mean, but he has a career pass block efficiency of 93.1.
That's bad. That's pretty bad.
Wow, 12 pressures in the game is crazy. I don't care. And then to give up so he gave up 12, 5, and 10 in 3 consecutive games. So that's 27 pressures in 3 games. I bet Lane Johnson gave up 27 pressures all year. I bet. I'm gonna look this up. But anyways, that's just crazy.
Yeah.
Nuts, man.
He's
But
not good. He's not good, like I said. So let me be clear. It makes sense not because Stone Forsythe is good. It makes sense because Pete Carroll was like, I got to get a guy I trust in there. Why he trusts him? Good question, but he does.
yeah, from 2021 to 2022, Lane Johnson gave up 22 pressures, and Stone Forsythe just had 3 games.
Lane Johnson did that on like 1,000 pass blocking snaps.
Stone 651 pass blocking block. Yeah, 651 pass blocking. He gave up 14 last year on 574. But man, that tells you just a little bit. That's just perspective. So, best player in the league, he gets as many pressures as the best right tackle in football, like maybe the best right tackle ever, right? In 3 games. So that's kind of Stone Forsythe. And Mumford's never played that bad. I mean, I've given him credit for things, but he's never gave up 12 pressures in a game. I'd have to cut you after that. I'm sorry. Like this, see this, there's things I don't see how coaches hang with. 12 pressures is cut stuff for me, Matt. You getting cut the next day.
I mean, in fairness, he did get cut. I forget where he was, but he did get cut. I know, it was right. He was with the. Who was he? Was it New Orleans? No.
But yeah, because he only played 6 games last year. He got cut after the 10 pressure game. I think he got cut.
Oh, okay. Yeah. At least benched
or something.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, yeah. So Stone Forsythe. Go ahead, Matt.
Ideally, he does not see the field, and ideally, he does not play. But just explaining why they did it, what they're thinking, if you will.
Wow. Yeah. So, hopefully he doesn't play. But yeah, that's why I wanted Charles Grant to get work at right tackle during the preseason. Like, they just kept him at left tackle. I know somebody said they might have did it in practice, but in the preseason where they should have did it, where they should have gave him the reps and just let him, go through the bumps and bruises of being a right tackle since he's never done it before. But
especially after they re-signed or extended Colton Miller, you know what I mean? It's like you'd think like it's like, all right, now the plan shifts to moving him to the right side now that Colton Miller's under contract through. Funny money. You can move on if something were drastic were to happen to Colton, I'm sure. But I think like they could technically have Colton under contract for the entirety of Charles Grant's rookie deal. I think maybe 1 year off or something like that. But like you think like after they did that, it's like, all right, now let's see what you can do on the right side. Maybe you can push DJ Glaze or substitute or take over for him when Glaze leaves or something like that. But yeah, weird.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Like now you just kind of like a left tackle who's just like chilling.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
It's weird.
All right, yeah. All right, Thomas Harper also got released. So and then they replaced him with the safety that I don't know a lot about, Tristan McCallum. Don't know a lot about him. I don't know how she's played. But we like the Eagles bench players. Yeah. Also, I know.
Well, it's like I forget what his role is, and I don't remember his name. But they have like someone in the front office that was from the Eagles. Like he was like Howie's like right man or something like that. I remember when they hired him, it was a lot of hype about a front office guy that's not the GM. And yeah, I mean it's the same thing. When I saw McCollum and I saw him claimed off waivers, my mind immediately went to Zion McCollum, who plays corner for the Bucks, because of that connection with John Spytek, and obviously we've talked about it. They could use a corner, but then I saw his name is Tristan. He's from the Eagles. All I know about him is he's Zion McCollum's twin brother. hasn't played much, but safety I think was a spot we talked about this last time that's pretty thin even at the top, and they need help at like the free safety spot. And I was kind of surprised Harper made the team just because he missed damn near all of training camp, right? Like, I don't think he played one preseason game, or if he did, he played like one snap, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And then was out for the rest of the time. And it wasn't like he was a guy that was like a surefire starter, or even a roster guy. So I was kind of surprised he ended up making the roster. And then I think it was when you get a guy like Tristan McCollum, who, again, apologies for not remembering his name, but has some familiarity with him and likes him. Obviously saw something I saw him when he became available. It's like, all right, let's swap out the guy that wasn't brought in by us and haven't really played much for the guy that someone in our front office is clearly sees some potential in, at least.
Yeah. Because McCallum has not played a regular season game ever.
Really? I thought he played a little bit, but maybe not.
Oh no, I'm looking at blocking. That's why.
Oh, that's why. Yeah, he has not blocked. I think he played like 200 snaps or something like that. Like when I looked it up.
Yeah, he played 200 snaps last year.
Yeah.
Didn't do very well in coverage, but yeah, they got to find something at safety. I mean, they're kind of like rolling with scraps. You know what I mean? So it's not a great look. And then Harper got picked up quickly by the Lions.
Yeah.
So somebody got picked up on waivers. So yeah, so the two players that we liked going into the season that got picked up super quick. Sincere McCormick and Thomas Harper. It's kind of funny, but yeah, I mean, you put good film out there in 2024. I mean,
someone will take a chance on you.
Somebody's gonna take a chance on you. So yeah, so that's the thing with that. All right, so we're here to talk about Amari Cooper and Kenny Pickett. Two additions. Of course, one's gonna play, and hopefully the other one doesn't. But we're gonna look at both of these guys. Go ahead, Matt. Start with Kenny Pickett. Like, what were your thoughts from the film?
Yeah, so talked a little bit about it when we did the 53-man show earlier in the week, or last week. But yeah, I think Kenny Pickett's a good backup. Like, obviously, he's proven as a starter. He's just kind of average or maybe even slightly below average. I don't think you're really relying on this guy. I don't think you want him to be your quarterback of the future, so to speak. But I do think Kenny Pickett can be like a solid guy to turn to when you need someone like off the bench or to start one game. Like he did that last year at the end of the year when Jalen Hurts, I think he got a concussion. If you remember at the end of the season, he came in against Washington. He played solid against Washington off the bench, made a few nice throws, and then played against the Cowboys last year. And he actually threw the ball pretty damn well. He had 3 big-time throws on like 15 attempts in that game and turned in a pretty good game overall. But overall, like what you're getting from him is a guy that's athletic, can move in the pocket a little bit, can throw on the run. That to me is like his biggest strength. We'll see that today. Like he had a throw where he threw it deep, and that was like his best deep ball of the year. I went back and watched like all 50 of his attempts last season, and the best deep pass he had was literally just on the run compared to him in the pocket, where his arm strength, like his lack of arm strength, shows up a little bit too. Yeah. But the one thing I will respect about Kenny Pickett is he knows how he's built. We talked about, someone brought up him like in Gardner Minshew. Like Gardner Minshew thought he was like, could be like Superman and didn't have that skill set. Kenny Pickett, like he understands. He's like, I know I don't have the strongest arm, so I'm not going to take a ton of risks over the middle of the field. I'll get to that too a little bit. I think there's some opportunities he misses in the middle of the field because of that, but he's not going to force throws into that he knows he can't make, which I think is a good from your backup. He knows his own limitations and stuff like that. And where he excels and where he wins and where he did well at Pittsburgh is throwing on time and accurate. And I think those are the things that you're kind of looking for from a backup quarterback, right? Like you want your guy to be safe with the football and you want them to be accurate and be able to make the easy throws at the very least. You're not counting on this guy to be pushing it down the field all the time, but I think he can kind of give that to you. And I think that's why they ended up overpaying a little bit, giving up the 5th round pick to get him, especially after Aiden O'Connell went down and didn't look good in the preseason. So I think that's where it came from. So I think he's a good backup. I would be very worried if they had to rely on him as the starter. If something drastic were to happen to Geno, I'm not going to sit here and be like, yeah, Kenny Pickett will make it fine. But from the standpoint of like what you're looking for from your QB2, again, another guy you hope never has to play this season, like I think he can be good in that role. I think like a lot of people get the negative connotation about him with how it worked out as him as a starter at Pittsburgh. And that's fair, but you got to remember he's in a much different role and in a much different job on the team this year. So yeah, I like him as a decent backup. I think he's one of the better backups in the league. I'll put it that way.
Yeah. Because I think Pickett's main problem is that he just didn't produce. Man, throwing 6 touchdowns and when you play 12 games, it's ridiculous. This is just not acceptable, right? I mean, this is something you could do in the NFL and be successful. And I know you're playing with Steelers, and Mike Tomlin always finds stupid ways to win games, but it's not going to work overall, and that's why you get shipped out somewhere if you're not producing like that. So that makes sense to me. But I think he's a good backup though. I mean, from a backup perspective, like I said, for a couple games, right? If it's longer than that, then I'm looking at corners and linebackers in the draft for sure. If it's, I'm starting my deep dive here, but yeah, it's not a good thing if he's playing a long time, but for a couple games, it's fine, right? And he is better than O'Connell. I mean, there's a reason why he was drafted higher. I mean, he is a better player, just more athletic a little bit, and more of a fit. And if they want to run zone read, he could keep it maybe. I'm not saying he get like 30 yards or something like that, but he could keep it a little bit. So, I know Chip has that in the system, just what they're doing. And, you saw Geno Smith do that in the scrimmage. So, I mean, it's there, but, they just got to they got to have a better quarterback for that. So that's why I always say he was there to replace O'Connell too.
Yeah. He and as a rusher, if you remember, he changed the rules of college football. He got rid of you can no longer do the fake slide. So got some athleticism to him.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right, so I did Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper, definitely had a great NFL career, and he comes in, as a herald receiver and very exciting. But I do think that they have to find a good role for him. I think that Pete Carroll was talking about him playing outside. I don't know how much is that going to work, and I'm going to show that on film. But what's wrong with Cooper now is just speed. He doesn't have a speed anymore. Like you remember, he ran 4.4, I believe, coming out. I think right. 4.4 something like that. Yeah.
Never like a blazer, but like fast. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's gone. So like that explosiveness that he has is gone. Like he can still run routes. He still has a pretty good release. It's just like, even if he wins, right, and he's running deep, guys can catch up just because he doesn't have that explosiveness, that speed anymore. Yeah. And I know he had injuries last year, but even against Cleveland early in the year, you could see it. And you could see how corners, when they're playing against him and they're playing off, they don't like freak out if he's trying to sell a go route. Like he's like I said, he's still gonna run routes. He'll sell a go route and all those things, but nobody's biting because that speed isn't there anymore, right? So so he still has a lot to him. I thought he made a lot more contested catches. It's just on the deep balls, man. You got to throw a dime basically to get it to Cooper at this point, because there's not going to be a lot of separation. And if you're not throwing dimes, and Geno Smith can do that. But he did a great job like adjusting the football last year. But I think they got to move him inside. I think if you can get him inside and get him in the slot where he's getting one-on-ones on safeties versus quarters and things like that on third down, and against certain teams and certain looks, and you getting him on linebackers and things like that, that is the way to go. But I don't know if they're going to do that. What Pete Carroll was saying, they're talking about playing him outside too and having him like teach Thornton and stuff like that. So it's gonna be interesting to see how they use him, but outside as like the winning outside like he used to, it's not there. It's not there anymore. So it's a little off there.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't done like the deep dive like you have, but like everything you said, like it lines up with what I saw, like even just on the few samples that I saw from him, mainly when he was in Buffalo last season. Like like everything you said, like the route man, the salesmanship, and that kind of stuff, like it's still there, but he just can't capitalize and take advantage of it, like and whatnot. But I am kind of interested too. Like I know you kind of touched on it. Like I feel like he's a great guy for someone to like for Dante Thornton to learn under. You know what I mean? A guy that basically is the exact opposite of Amari Cooper at this stage. Like Amari Cooper, great route runner, doesn't have the speed and the athleticism and the explosiveness that he used to. Dante Thornton, obviously being the younger guy, has plenty of speed and athleticism. He needs to work on his route running. So like, again, if those guys can just kind of get in the room together, and if Amari Cooper's role is to coach that guy up and help him, that could end up being a good thing that ends up being a long-term. Like I know, like if you remember CeeDee Lamb coming out, he was a little bit raw in his route running. Like CeeDee Lamb, like he talked about when Amari got traded, he was like upset because Amari was like his mentor. So something that he's done in the past too, and I think he's willing to do. So I intrigued by Amari Cooper. I've always loved that guy, but yeah, I do recognize that like at this stage in his career, he's not that same guy that was winning the Blitnikoff at Alabama and the number 4 overall pick for the Raiders back in the day. So
yeah, for sure, dude. All right, let's do some Kenny Pickett, bro. Let's get some Kenny Pickett.
All right, I'm gonna start with the bad so we can end on a high note. This was Pickett's one throw right here, and I'll be honest with you, I'll cut him a little bit of slack because this is a hell of a rep from Frankie Louvu right here. Like if you watch, Louvu's going to start this rep on the line of scrimmage. Like Dan Quinn's, I think he's going to even blitz Bobby Wagner here, so it's not a double A gap look, but basically it's like a pressure look. And especially with Louvu, he's such a good pass rusher. You're thinking already he's going to come off the edge, but he doesn't. And then on top of it, he's initially going to sell, like he's going to chase the follow the tight end here. So then again, Pickett's probably thinking at first he's going to blitz. Then he sees him widen with the tight end. So, he has the tight end. What Louvu ends up doing is opening back up and then stepping into that window. So cut Kenny a little bit of slack here. I mean, I'd like to see him see this backer and not throw the interception, but that's a pretty damn good rep from Louvu where he just kind of steps in the passing lane and ends up picking it off. Like we'll see it from the end zone view here. Like again, we'll like to see him see that, but sometimes you just got to tip your cap.
That's a great play.
Yeah, that's why that guy was. I think he was an All-Pro this year, maybe Pro Bowl. That and the 8 sacks he had.
Mm-hmm.
Now this one, I'm curious from Marcus. for your opinion on this one. This is what I was talking about, where like he knows where he's built and doesn't throw it across the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Now, to me, like I forget the concept. You can probably correct me on this. We got like a double post out here, and then we have the tight end coming underneath it.
Mm-hmm.
To me, I'd like to see him rip to the tight end right about now. Now, I kind of understand why he might look off this, because we got the safety here hanging out, but we'll see it from the end zone. Like I felt like he had just enough space to get that ball in.
Yeah.
But then again, when you don't have the strongest arm, maybe he just doesn't have the confidence to let that rip. But that's what I'm talking about, where like sometimes I feel like he doesn't use the middle of the field like you'd like to see. Like right now, he let it go and put it like here.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think he could probably get it. Maybe number one here makes that play. And again, maybe that's why he looks it off. But this next one we'll see was, I mean, just flat out inexcusable.
Yeah. He had to have timing. I mean, that's the difference between like him and Purdy. Like Purdy's throwing that like super early. Yeah, right. He's throwing it right there. Like when Bobby Wagner's looking at this guy, and that ball goes right over his head and with some touch. But so, yeah, I mean, that's knowing yourself. And if you're late, like he is right there. Yeah.
Pick, then you can't throw it. Yeah. Exactly. You're probably right. By the time he sees it, it's too late. So maybe a little hard on him on this one, but this one I was like, yeah, this one we gotta throw it. What we're going to see here is this is basically Tampa 2. What Dan Quinn's doing is he's dropping these two safeties deep, and then the post safety and the cover 3 look pre-snap just kind of like hangs out in the middle of the field. And like you'll see like all of our deep defenders, like Luvu's dropping here, dropping. So just hit the drag route. We got our number 1 receiver and one of the better guys in the NFL. Just throw it to him over the middle of the field, but he doesn't. I don't know. This time he's just looking for the big play or what. I don't even think this was like third down or anything. And he ends up just running and taking off. Yeah. Second down. Like if he throws that to AJ Brown, he might get the first.
Yeah.
Like go ahead.
I mean, I don't know why he didn't. I mean, he's your best player, and
and it's set up for him perfectly.
Yeah, he gets that first, man. He might score. AJ Brown might score on this play when I'm looking at it, because you're right. Especially if he waits like right there.
Yeah,
this guy's backed up, and then AJ Brown.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh my god!
The safety, make this guy miss, and we score. Yeah,
yeah.
Get that ball to your $30 million receiver, don't be.
For sure, man. Right? Good Lord.
But anyway, moving on a little bit. Okay. Oh no, this was the last one. So this is one thing that I will critique that I didn't mention in the beginning. His pocket management, sometimes he can get a little skittish when the pressure starts to come. Like we'll see, I think this Mekhi Becton at right guard. I think Becton starts to lose a little bit here. And then I don't know if that's my lot or someone else, but he ends up losing around the edge. So I think he feels the pressure, but still like this pocket is good enough where like he can step into it and make this throw. He might get bumped after he lets it go. But like he kind of just throws it off his back foot.
Yeah.
And sails on him. Like there's times where like he just it seems like he like feels phantom pressure, or he feels the pocket start to collapse and he gets a little happy feet back there and speeds up his process a little bit too much. The ball sailed on him. But moving on to what he does well, again, one thing with his deep ball, without having the strongest arm, is when he throws on time, he can get it out there. Like you'll see this one, Devontae Smith does wait for it a little bit. But what he does a great job of is like Smith's going to kind of push this inside to sell it and gets 25 here to open his hips. And then once Brown starts breaking the outside, like you can see this, I stopped that a little late. Like he's already letting it go. And then that time, like you'll see Smith, he kind of catches this a little bit behind him, like more on his back hip instead of out in front of him. But at the very least, it's enough to get it out there. And I mean, I'm being nitpicky at that point.
Yeah.
Where we end up getting an explosive play out of this. I think he stopped just short of the goal line.
Yeah, with his knee down. That's great timing, though. Like, I mean, that's what I'm saying. When you have a weak arm like that, that's what you got to do. Exactly. Christian Miller needs to watch this film. Maybe he's here for Cam Miller. I say for Cam Miller.
Yeah, Cam Miller. Yeah, maybe teach him a little thing because they are similar. Just a little bit height difference, but
yeah,
similar type of players. Both rhythm quarterbacks who can move a little bit. Now this one he had to step up, so he's a little bit later on it because we could get a little bit of edge pressure here. Alana was like losing a little bit towards the end, so he had to step up on that one. He also takes a weird drop where he kind of fades into it.
Yeah,
but he does step into it, and he's only a touch late on this one. and still gets it out to Devontae in the corner of the end zone for a 6.
Man, Devontae was killing the Cowboys. Good Lord.
Yeah, he had a big game. He had a hell of a game. Well, the week before, we'll see it. Devontae might have had the worst drop of his career.
Good Lord.
Yeah. See what I'm talking about Pickett's drop? He's going to drift a little bit towards the left.
Yeah. I don't know what that's about. That's some ugly stuff.
I think it was his first foot. His first step was like wide instead of straight back. But hey, we'll take touchdown throws.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then this one's going to be an example of when he's a little bit later on the throw. Like you'll see AJ Brown, like this ball needs to be out right now. AJ Brown's about to break for the corner. You can see Kenny's still kind of got both hands on the ball right now. Hasn't even started his throwing motion. He throws it now when Brown's like already well out of his break. You can see he's even looking for the ball already. Now, this is why you pay that guy $30 million a year. Exactly. He makes a hell of an adjustment to catch this ball in traffic. So it still ends up being an explosive play. But from Pickett's perspective, this is where the lack of arm strength like shows up because he's a little bit late and the ball just kind of dies on him, and it takes a hell of a play from the receiver to come down with that one. Clean pocket too.
Yeah, it's that extra hitch he had. If he just he's looking at the safety. As soon as he sees the safety, boom, and he throws it. So he took extra. When you don't have any arm strength, you can't take an extra hitch like that. It's like boom, throw.
Yeah, he tried to crow hop into it almost. Just let it rip. And boom. Still got it out there at the very least, but that's one of the better bad examples, if you will. But this is where he's going to make his money, just rhythm and timing. I mean, this is a curl against press man coverage. And you'll see this. I'll pause it right when he starts the throwing motion. Like right now, like you can see Devontae's not even out of his break yet, just getting into it. He gets it out there, gives Devontae a chance to come back to the ball and still be able to pick up the first down and with a little bit of yak. I think this is going to be pretty similar. Now, this one's a harder throw, and it sails on him a little bit where Devontae has to leave his feet to go get it. But I will give Kenny Pickett a little bit of credit. It's a long throw from the far hash to outside the numbers, but same kind of thing. Like he's throwing it. He's getting ready to throw right now, and Smith's just getting into his break. Just good timing. And you see ball beats the corner who actually plays this decently for playing off coverage. So
yeah,
end up getting the first.
It's good timing.
Nothing sexy, but again, this is kind of what you're looking for from your backup. Just get the ball out on time and be accurate. Next one going to be to AJ Brown. Again, what I like about this one too is he seems like he knew where he wanted to go right off the snap, and he knows he wants to hit Brown on the outside slant route.
Yeah,
because this is back foot hits the ground, ball's out. What I like about this throw too is like this gets kind of risky, right? Throwing into the triangle a little bit here, and like the linebacker, I think that's if it's Luvu, I think that's Luvu who can bring the wood. Like, but he puts it on AJ Brown's outside shoulder and lets Brown protect himself a little bit.
Yeah, it's a good throw.
End up making the catch. Yeah, good ball. Again, not the sexy throws, but
so what you're saying, if we keep it to 5 to 10 yards and meticulously go down the field, the running game and quick slants, we could get it done with
exactly. With what we saw in the preseason, this is this is going to be perfect for Chip Kelly because this is exactly what he did like all preseason. I expect him to expand the playbook a little bit, but with Chip Kelly running a lot of quick game, which he kind of always has, like I think Pickett can kind of fit that. This was the drop I was talking about from Devontae. But again, I mean, this one I think is a choice route because Devontae kind of squares him up, so Pickett's a little bit later, but still on time enough. And I mean, we'll see it from the end zone view, but you can't ask for a better ball from that. And if he catches this, he scores. This is late in the game, and I think that might eliminate the commander. That might have eliminated from the commander from the playoffs. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but the Eagles would have won this game had Devontae scored because this is third down.
Did the Eagles lose this game, or they won?
Yeah. They lost it.
Oh.
Yeah. This is when Hurts got knocked out like early in the game. Yeah. See, I mean, can't ask for a better ball.
No, you cannot.
Devontae looked that one all the way in. He just didn't bring his hands with him. Hit him right in the face.
Oof.
Yeah. So good ball from Pickett though. All right, I believe this is moving on to him on the run. Oh no, one more timing throw. Now this was 2nd and 15, so they don't get a huge gain on this, but we at least give us a 3rd manageable and same type of thing. I mean, he's throwing that and Brown's not even looking. Brown's just getting into his route there on the out route. I think AJ kind of screwed him a little bit because you'll see AJ start to drift like back to the quarterback instead of staying on his path towards the sideline, which is what limits the game. I mean, maybe he's coming back to the ball a little bit, but
yeah.
Again, the timing and the rhythm of the throw, I really like from Kenny Pickett. Another one that's far hashed outside the numbers too. So not an easy throw to make when you don't have the strongest arm. Good footwork too. I like that.
Yeah.
Now that you say Cam Miller, like I can't stop thinking about that. This is the throw I'm talking about. This is his best deep ball all year, and we'll see it even better from the end zone view. Now, I think part of this is more internal clock. Like you can see a little bit of the panic in the pocket. Like he sees no one's open. Like he panics here when he doesn't really need to. This is actually pretty damn good protection. And leaves the pocket. But if you on the run throw like that, I'm not going to say anything to you.
Yeah, exactly.
Like we'll see just how beautiful this back shoulder ball was.
This is when he realized he was playing with the Eagles offensive line.
Yeah. It's like, whoop.
It's funny.
Nice grab by Capatera, too.
Yeah, man. That's a great catch.
Keep it away from the defender. That's like 30 yards down the field. And on the run, too, just flick the wrist. Like, where the hell was this when you have a clean pocket?
I know,
you're
right?
Standing in the pocket. Like,
I was dying because he was freaking out like he's with the Steelers offensive line. He's like, oh, crap, I still have a lot of time.
Nope.
That's hilarious.
Another good throw on the run. I like this too because like he buys some time with his legs. This is what I'm talking about with pocket mobility because they're going to run like a little mesh concept. I think tight ends here is going to be the pick player on the mesh, and he knows he's got to let that develop. But this time, like the pocket actually does kind of collapse. Like we'll see Becton struggling a little bit here, and Mailata did not have a good game for Kenny Pickett in these two reps because he loses pretty quickly around the edge. So he knows I got to scramble to give AJ Brown another second or two to get open and get this pick set. And then once we get that, now I can throw it. And I like this too. You'll see Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow do this a lot where you could throw it in front of him and lead him a little bit and maybe he picks up a few more yards after the catch, but he throws it to the other shoulder and then sets up Brown for the cutback with this guy's momentum going this way. Yeah. He's able to make that guy miss. And now we tack on another 5-10 yards. Nice play by Luvu to kind of come save it. But I like that throw and catch from Pickett. And
God damn, Frankie Lulu's pretty damn good. Good Lord.
Yeah, man. I'll tell you, man. There's a reason why that guy made I think he was an All-Pro last year, if I can remember correctly. I know he made the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, he was blitzing on this play.
Yeah. He's a freak, dude. He's good. Good linebacker. Yeah, chase down AJ Brown from the line of scrimmage. That's awesome. This one, gains here is only a few yards, but what I liked is like what I can see from this is I feel like if you're Chip Kelly, you can design some bootlegs too, with Kenny Pickett, which could kind of help like reduce his like skittishness in the pocket. And again, he can throw on the run pretty damn well. Like this one, it's a pretty good play by the free rusher to recognize the bootleg and then get in Pickett's face. But Pickett makes a nice ball throw around him and takes a hit while letting it go. We'll see if here pretty well on target. Again, the gain here is nothing to speak of.
Yeah.
But that's actually just pretty well defended by the Cowboys. One where you got to tip your cap. Those guys get paid too, kind of deal. Set up 3rd and short at least. Oh, no. Oh, that's me. Now, this one I like too because I don't know if it was just he saw it out of the corner of his eye or he just did it naturally. But you'll see like Lane Johnson, he's going to trip here. I think Smith is going to go check release and step on Johnson's foot. And, like he trips here. But it like part of the reason why I'm like, did he just feel this? Is Pickett's looking that way the whole time? He does a great job buying some time. Same kind of thing that I was talking about earlier with that crossing route, same concept.
Yeah.
And lets the play develop. And then we hit AJ Brown with a good throw on the run to give ourselves a chance. What could have been a bad play with our right tackle tripping and their Pro Bowler, or excuse me, that's Fowler, who had, I think, career high, like close to 10 sacks, maybe 8 sacks last year.
Mm-hmm.
He does a good job of using his feet to avoid it, and then can throw without having his feet set to make sure we get something out of that play. I think this last one right here. On this one, same type of thing. This time, starts to run, sees the lane open up, and then just kind of pump fakes. I think that's Wagner right there to get Wagner to commit to AJ Brown and open up this throwing window right here.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, that's a terrible illustration, but you get the picture. And then again, just hits him on the run. So he can create a little bit and make things happen with his accuracy and stuff on the run. It doesn't drop off really when he doesn't have his feet set, but is limited with his arm strength. See a little pump fake. Boom. Come back to him. So, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, that's Kenny Pickett. I mean, again, timing, accuracy is definitely there. Throw on the run a little bit. When he is on time, he can push it down the field, but obviously going to be physical limited. And then on top of it too, I am kind of curious to see what he can do without two pretty damn good 25 plus $1 million receivers in Devontae Smith and AJ Brown. That obviously helps out a lot. I'll acknowledge that. Mm-hmm. But I like what he does from the backup perspective. He knows how he's built. He's not going to force the ball in those bad windows. The one pick we saw, that was really just a great play by a guy that's having a hell of a year. And then on top of it too, like, he can do enough stuff right that you don't have to sit there and be like, well, we can't have to throw out the entire passing game. It's just going to be a lot more methodical when Geno Smith's not in the game.
Yeah. What you saw from him is kind of just some normal backup stuff for me, in my opinion. I feel like this just a guy can come in and kind of, keep everything afloat. The offensive line kind of looked like it was, hurting him in that one start a little bit. Probably looks like probably one of the worst games they had all year. Yeah, was with him. Especially seeing like Jordan get beat like that all the time, and Mekhi Becton was getting beat. So dealing with that scheme a little bit. I mean, he had a little trouble there, but completing those passes, having a little anticipation, making those throws on the run. I mean, it's not much you can ask for from a backup quarterback, so it's not too much. But yeah, I mean, you definitely don't want him out there starting. But it is kind of funny. The more I watched it, he did remind me of Cam Miller a lot. Like if Cam Miller had a ceiling,
yeah, Kenny Pickett.
That's what it would be, right? Which after watching preseason, watching him struggle a little bit, you could see that he needs a lot of work. So, yeah, I mean, because that's really what you're gonna get. I mean, even with Cam Miller, like the ability to kind of move and do those things, but the arm strength is just not there, and he has to be perfectly on time, or it's not get the ball so I could get out. So, he just has to be able to make those type of throws. But yeah, if you're working with Kenny Pickett all year, you're in trouble, basically.
Yeah. The one that sold it to me, like when you were talking about it, it's like he was going through his reads. I'm like, man, his feet are matched with his eyes. I'm like, I said the same thing about Cam Miller too. So yeah, once you said it, I'm like, damn, that is pretty good comparison.
Seriously. All right, guys. Let's get some Amari Cooper. All right, so we're gonna start off with the short routes. Basically, him running a bunch of slants. Right. So I really like this route right here. Because it's kind of like he's selling, like kind of like he's blocking a little bit, I guess. Kind of like a little bit of laziness right here, right? Kind of just and then just cuts right back aside and gets Banks right there. So I really like this right here. This is a nice little route here, nice little setup, kind of selling it, and then sells that fade right there. Gets back inside. Great route.
That's where you go back to your receiver coach. Be like, see, this is why I dog it on run plays, because this sets it up for
exactly. Got Banks really nice there on that one. All right, so here's another one against the Bills here. And I like this because, he's going against one of the better corners in the league, Trent McDuffie here. And what I like about this one is basically, you see his release, he gets square there, right? Gets square in the release, gets inside, right? And then he pushes upfield a little bit here, fights through it, and then hits a slant, boom, and he's open right there for Josh Allen. So that's what I'm saying. He can still run routes. I'm not saying like, the route running is gone. It's more just speed. But you see, this is some nice route running, right? It's very clean, right? It's not like Devontae Adams where he's doing a lot of funky moves. It's like clean, but with great releases and great timing and sharp cuts. So you could tell, just like I said, you see this position right here where he's got that inside. He knows he's going to run that slant, but he pushes upfield just enough. Boom. Then it cuts right quickly. And Josh throws that right on time. That ball is right on his face as soon as he gets out of that cut.
And when we talk about like vet moves, this is exactly what we're talking about. The salesmanship. To push it upfield, use his little chicken wing, get away with a little push off, you know?
Yeah, exactly. All right. So here's one. He's inside here a little bit, but this one is kind of just like a little stop route kind of thing. But what I like about this one is just the concentration here to catch this ball through traffic. Because of course, Josh Allen, you know, well, he could probably one of the only guys to make the throw. I'm sure Geno Smith could try it and maybe get this in there. But like, look how small this window is, right?
That is tiny.
Tiny window. And then Cooper even moves a little bit, but Allen still throws it to Cooper, and it makes a good catch right there. Boom. Nice hands catch right there. That's that ball, man. It's just great throw. Right there in between it. But great concentration. You get some yak there. I bet this first game the first game he had against Titans, man, it was pretty good. I bet Bills fans were like, "We're winning the Super Bowl, man. Ain't got nobody stuff bar." I bet that game. All right, now talk about a little bit. Talking about him against on some slants here. Just seeing how he's not the same exact guy, you know, with the releases here, because he tries to do a little diamond release, and then Banks kind of just shuts him down here. Banks is a pretty good corner. I didn't realize that. Pretty good corner out of Maryland. But he tries to do a little diamond release here, right? And I've known Cooper murder people with diamond releases. From watching with the Raiders, watching with the Cowboys, and even late with the Browns. He just can't win back inside here. So yeah, he can run routes, but it's just the ability, and he's just older. That's all I can say. There's nothing really I could say. I'm not gonna say that anything's changed, but you see how Banks also isn't scared of his speed either. You can see it here, right? He's able to kind of cut back aside. That's a great rep by Banks too as well.
Yeah, he gets Banks to open the hips, but he doesn't have the explosiveness to capitalize.
Exactly. All right, we get another slant here. This one is just about the sharpness of the cut. This is him when I'm talking about like how he's not like Devontae Adams with the route running. Like he can run these sharp routes where he's not doing a lot. Yeah. But what I like is how he attacks the corner's outside shoulder. You see right here, he's attacking the outside shoulder, right? So he gets that corner moving just enough this way, right? Try to get in front of him because he's attacking the outside shoulder, and then he cuts back inside quick. Boom. That's what I'm talking about, him playing inside. You get him in the slot, and you can get these matchups. So you get him lined up against the safety here. It just makes it real easy for him.
Yeah, his route tree isn't what it was, but I feel like you can get him on these shorter stuff, short to intermediate.
Yeah, stuff. Really like that route. All right, here's another slant here. But this one's about them not worried about his speed. So you see here on this one, boom, and then knocks it down there, right? You see how 21 just kind of sits there. So you see, watch it right here. Yeah, right. So, I mean, he does a good job at keeping his head upfield, right? And trying to sell the goal, right? Before he cuts inside. But you see 21 just doesn't even move. He doesn't even move because he's not worried about his speed like that. So as soon as he hits that sharp cut, it is a sharp cut. Look how quickly he's into that slant. These guys already driving on the football. And, you know, he gets there a little early, but yeah, he makes a nice little play. But as you kind of can see, I mean, they're just not worried about his speed anymore.
Yeah, you can sit on it and wait for the slant.
Yeah, just sit and wait for it. And you can see the same thing happen here too. With 14, played pretty well against Cooper in this game. Cooper got the 14 targets in this game against the Bills. But you got to even see here, right? I mean, it's just like even on this route, it's like just the sharpness isn't always there as it used to be. He doesn't really sell the go route as well here. And 14 just kind of just sits on it. And they're doing these double ends here. And ends up breaking up that pass.
China concept, yeah.
Yeah, little China routes. But just you know, I can see right here, just not as sharp here getting out of this break. And then, you got to be able to hold on to this football too,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that looked like an old man route.
Yeah, did it? All right, so here's him running some intermediate routes. And, like I said, you get another veteran push here, you get a little veteran push off, right? Because he sells the goal, getting upfield. But like you said, you could just see it, man. You can see how much he's just struggling to get the top speed, right?
Yeah.
But he does a good job of when he gets out here, kind of getting that little veteran push because the guy tries to get physical with him. This makes you think of BD because BD says, "You push, I grab."
Gotta be able to grab though.
Yeah, you gotta be able to grab though. But you can see, like I said, it's like it's sharp. It's not really the cleanest route. He kind of rounds it off here, but he does a good job of creating a separation late and then coming back to the football when Josh Allen throws it on with some good timing here too. Because this ball's already kind of, well, it's not Josh's first read, but he gets there. He does a good job of coming back to this football, making a good catch for him. Yeah, this is the game he got 14 targets, and then they're like, that's not going to work because he only had 6 catches.
Yikes.
He had 94 yards. So 94 yards. Okay. All right. Here against the Rams here. Another one. Now I like this one because like I said, he's not as explosive, right? But they're playing against all coverage, right? And he does a good job of selling the go route again here. So you can watch his head. And he almost falls over with how sharp this cut is that he makes, because this is a sharp cut here. Because kind of show it here one more time here. So you can see he putting his head down. See when his head's down here, and you're a corner. The corner is looking at Josh Allen, but if with your head down, you're thinking go route, right? He's trying to reach top speed.
Yeah,
got his head down. He keeps his head down the whole time too. Like that's what I like. His head down the whole time, and he breaks out of it. And then his body still can't handle the sharp cut. You can see it. You can see it could fall.
Yeah. I noticed that on the slant you pointed out earlier too. Is he still does a good job of selling the vertical route with his head and shoulders.
Yeah,
it's just
again a nice little play there. So, yeah, like I said, he has became like we could call what a fringe top 10 receiver to a solid receiver at this point, in my opinion, right?
Yeah.
All right, so this is where you get some classic Cooper release here. So, like, he just eats this guy up here, but I'll just let it run.
Ooh. Yeah. Almost like a sluggo.
Yeah, almost, right? So see he gets square, gets square here again. Just shows that slant and is like quickly cuts back outside. Now, it's a little bit of the hop skip too with it, right? That kind of sells it and gets this corner just to eat, and then just he's swinging at air. But this is what I was also talking about, because this reminds me of against who was it? Against the Ravens or something back in the day when the Raiders or Chargers or something. He did the same route and he was like way up here by the time this corner realized it, and he's like the corner had a chance to catch up. It was a good throw by Josh Allen here, a great catch too, but Amari Cooper in traffic. But you could just kind of see like the speed just isn't there as much as it used to be. He kind of takes a little bit of a while to even get out of this break. Like, boom, he hits it, and he's like, oh, it's a little bit. But it's there, man. He ate that guy up. All right, so here's another one too. This is against Banks. Like I said, Banks did a pretty good job against him, but he ends up winning on this one. What you see is, he understands that he's not as fast as he is too, which I really like. So I'll just let this run here. He ends up making this catch on this one. Boom, catch, touchdown.
Damn. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Career high 65% contested catch rate. So
yeah. So yeah, he's making a lot of contested catches. But I'll go back a little bit because I just want to show a little bit of stutter step here. So right, boom, hits it. gets into his release, like I said, you kind of tell that it's just not as explosive, but he does a little stutter step to kind of create enough separation. Here, it's a great ball by Deshaun Watson. Boom, right. Tries to get top speed there a little quickly, but this is a great catch. Concentration, both feet in, touchdown. You see it better from this angle here. Like nice concentration. That is a tight window. Gets both feet down, touchdown. That's beautiful. All right, so here's another one, another go route again. Look with a great release. Hits him right there. Like I said, you gotta see it, man. You guys gotta see it. Just the release is awesome, but just how he gets to top speed, right? So he sells it again, works the guy, boom, inside jab step. Gets outside, but you kind of see like right there. It's like
he blew a tire.
like this I'm saying. Like when he was with the Raiders, when we remember him, that's a touchdown. This is a touchdown.
Yeah.
But this still ends up being a Joshon kind of underthrows this, but this is another contested catch where he ends up high point this football, boom, contested catch right there. It's a great ball, great catch. And see it from this angle here. Go back a little bit. You can see that just how tight that window is for him to catch that football. Great catch, great concentration through traffic there. All right, and here's another catch in traffic here. This one just tries to do a speed release, but like I said, it's not too much speed there, but great contested catch. This is tight coverage, right? And then he's gonna get both his feet down too, which is what I love. So he catches this ball, high points it, right, and then gets both feet down.
Damn.
So like I said, I mean, he still can make plays. I'm not saying that it's like he's done for sure. Like when I watched some of the Bills stuff, I was like, man, this guy's done. But he's not done. He's just not fast anymore.
Yeah,
that's a great play. You know, see from this angle here. Boom, watch. Just, catch that high point the football there, and then get stiff like that. And go get both feet in. That's nice. Yeah, you know, you basically you just feel good. If somebody got hurt, Amari gets to start now. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good feeling. All right. So this is what we talk about, just a little bit of the speed, right? You just can't win deep here.
Yeah. Whew.
It's just not going to work.
Yeah, that's a rough one.
Yeah. You know, and I know 14's a decent corner, a good corner for the Rams, but, you know, you expect him to somebody the caliber of Amari Cooper, you expect him to kind of beat him on that one. And then you kind of see it again here on this one. You can't get nothing. He can't get anywhere. This guy just stays in front of him. You can't even get that. You can't even get anything on this one.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
I was just saying, he looks like he's hurting on this one.
Yeah, a little bit.
Like he had no burst off the line. Like he's jogging. Like that's.
Yeah, man. So like I said, maybe he's healthier and he has a little bit of speed back, but like I said, even against the Browns, when you saw early on, it didn't work that well. All right, but sometimes I'm moving him inside though, because you're going to get him lined up one-on-one with the safety here in the red zone. This is something that you could use him at, which I think they could do here and get some touchdowns out of him. So you see here, what I like about this one is another quick jab step and a quick cut inside there.
Yeah, that's a good route.
Right? He just gets that safety to open up this way. He thinks he's getting that fade. See the safety make that move inside to the outside. I think he's selling that fade, and it cuts right behind him right there. This is what I'm talking about. You get these free releases against safeties, and we saw that earlier against the when he was inside against the Chiefs. This is the way, to me, in my opinion. You just gotta. This is the second arc to his career is becoming Larry Fitzgerald in the slot. Because that's just easy touchdown right there. And then you can see it here again. You know, you get him lined up inside, condensed, where he gets a free release, right? No
press.
Yeah, no press coverage. And he can just get wide open here on these type of plays like this.
Yeah, run the drag route, find the hole.
Mm-hmm. Boom. Yeah, yeah, that's Amari Cooper. You know, he is like I said, the speed isn't there anymore, but he still has the ability to make contested catches. If you can move him inside, I mean, certain corners still won't be able to hang with him that much, but I mean, he still is that guy where you feel like that he can help you out a lot with your football team, help you make plays, and you know, if somebody goes down, what's better than having Amari Cooper come in, right? I mean, it's not something that's gonna be bad for you if that happens. So that's not something that you're gonna be too upset about. So I think that's something that you can really look into is just move him around a little bit. Just don't keep him outside trying to figure out different things he can do. And then I think you can make it happen. You can make some plays with him. But I still think it's a good addition to the football team overall. But you know, he's just not going to be the same guy if you're expecting that. That's what I'm saying, basically.
Yeah, I feel like his route tree is very limited to the short and intermediate stuff. Like we're not seeing one of my favorite routes that I used to run was the sluggo. That's why I kind of brought that up earlier. But yeah. And maybe that can help him out on the slants if he can win on just a couple of them every now and again. But I don't know if that's going to be in his bag at this stage because there were a few of those that, like I said, he looked like he was in some pain running that. It hurt me to watch that. It looked like an old man trying to burn guys deep. But I do like what you said, bringing him, putting him in the slot where, hey, like, are you going to press coverage me and I can still beat you with my releases, or are you going to sit there and off and I can win you with slants and stuff underneath all day? Because that was one thing too. I'd like to see him maybe on a few whip routes and stuff like that because he still has the change of direction. It's just the explosiveness to maximize. So if you can get a guy, if you can get a DB moving and having to change directions a bunch on a whip route like he is, then maybe he can still win and be effective. But the huge spike in contested catches I think is huge because right at this stage, I think what you're getting at is he's more of a possession receiver. So if he can be better in that area and he's coming off a career high in contested catch percentage, that's more encouraging for what he can do, what he can bring to the team.
Yeah, for sure, dude. All right, guys. So we're out of here. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Hit the subscribe button, subscribe. I got every single target against the Bills for Amari Cooper, all 14. Check down the memberships. And I'm having Zamir White up probably by Sunday night. So this show will be out Monday morning. So look out for that, guys. And it's football season, guys. It's you guys voted for the previews. You guys didn't want us to draft, so we're doing game previews. So we get ready for the Patriots this week. Check out what they're doing. I'll get the butts out my old Josh McDaniel stuff, and I'll get you guys ready for this. So I'm excited for this, guys. We are out of here. Subscribe. Peace.